Hello, my name is Nicola Monestari and today I will be making two different basic sauces. The first one is a vanilla sauce and the second one is an orange sauce. To make the vanilla sauce, you will need 125 milliliters of milk, 125 milliliters of cream, 13 grams of sugar, 3 pieces of egg yolk, half a teaspoon of vanilla. To make the vanilla sauce, the first thing that you need to do is pour your milk and cream into a saucepan. Then heat it up until it is simmering. While we are waiting for that to simmer, we can separate our egg whites and egg yolks. You can save your egg whites in a container like so you can use it for another recipe, maybe a meringue or something else. Once you separate your egg whites and egg yolks, then you're going to add the sugar. Then you're going to whisk it until it's slightly pale. Once the mixture is already pale and the milk and cream is simmering, then you're going to temper it, which is slowly adding a hot liquid into the egg so the egg doesn't cook, you will make scrambled eggs if you did that, and you have to repeat the whole thing. So to temper, you can use a ladle, but you can also just pour it slowly and continue stirring, so you are introducing a hot liquid to a room temperature egg. So you're gonna continue stirring, and you're going to slowly pour in the liquid. Once you're about halfway, you can pour the whole thing in, because the egg has already reached and already is almost equal to the temperature of the milk. Once it is all fully combined, then you're going to pour it back to the saucepan. Then you're going to turn on the heat again. I would set this to low heat, and you're going to stir slowly until it's slightly thickened up. Also at this stage, you can add your vanilla. You're going to add half a teaspoon of vanilla. So to know that it is done, you want to cook it until it reaches 80 degrees Celsius, or until when you lift it with a spatula or with a spoon, you can use your finger and there's a line through it and it doesn't coat back, so it leaves the line there. So once your vanilla sauce is cooked, then you're going to save it in a bowl or a container. I usually like to put it through a sieve, because usually if you're separating the egg yolk and the egg whites, if there's still any egg whites, it will usually become lumpy and not smooth. So to make sure it's fully smooth, you can just run it through a sieve. So as you can see, there's still like bits of the egg whites that weren't separated, so you can just separate that, so when you serve the vanilla it will be like a smooth and silky texture. Okay, once you've done that, you can cool this down in the fridge, but make sure that it is room temperature first before you put it in the fridge. If not, it will not be that good. You can cover this with a plastic wrap so it doesn't form a skin. And now we can move on to the second sauce. Okay, so now we're going to make the orange sauce. For the orange sauce, you will need 300 milliliters of freshly squeezed orange juice, 10 grams of sugar, 25 grams of cornstarch, and 3 tablespoons of cold water. To make the orange sauce, it is very simple. The first thing you need to do is put in the orange juice and the sugar. To that, you're going to cook, I suggest on a low heat, and continue stirring until the sugar is dissolved. Once the sugar is starting to dissolve, the next thing that you want to do is add 3 tablespoons of the cold water into the cornstarch to make a slurry. What this does is that it will thicken the orange juice, and that's what's going to make the sauce. So basically you can do this with any type of juice that you want. Probably mango juice, strawberry juice, anything. Now for a slurry, you want to make sure that everything is smooth and combined and there's no chunks and lumps that is still stuck. And you're going to add this when this is boiling. Why you want to make the slurry like once the orange juice is starting to boil is because cornstarch has the tendency of, once you have mixed it and if you leave it, it will set again at the bottom. Meaning later if you're in a hurry and you add it, you will just be adding like partial parts of water and the cornstarch will all be stuck in the bottom. So mine is boiling. I stir it again to make sure there is no lumps at the bottom. Prepare your whisk and continue stirring while you add in your slurry. And after a while, you should start to see it starts to thicken up. Once it has thickened up, you can turn your heat to low or off. You just want to cook this for a few more like seconds or maybe 2 minutes to make sure that all the flour is cooked. So later when you taste it, there's no like floury taste. Also, the sugar is varying depending on what you prefer. So this is just the basic measurement. If you prefer it less sweet, then you can add less sugar. Or if you want it to be more sweet, then you can add more sugar. Alright, my mixture is done. It looks quite thick and slimy. So once you've reached that stage, prepare another container. Pour in the mixture. As for the slurry, if you don't want it to be this thick, then I suggest you add it slowly, and you can adjust it to the consistency that you want. So I'm using about 25 grams. So if you want it less, you can use the same measurement, but then when you cook it to the orange juice, you will just add it like a tablespoon at a time. So you can adjust the thickness that you want. Alright, once it's in the container, you can just wrap it, chill it in the fridge for about 1 hour before you use it, so it will set even more. So remember, this will be slightly more thicker than it is when it's hot. So if you want it to be less thick, then you can use less slurry, or you can add a bit more orange juice to like make it more thin. Alright, my vanilla sauce has cooled. It's now slightly more thick. Okay, and I've already made some donuts to plate it with. And I'm gonna use it as something of a glaze. You can do it on a pancake, on a crepe. You can use it as a filling because it's quite thick, so you can just spread it, or maybe for an ice cream. Okay, got a plate. Alright, time to decorate with orange sauce. I'm going to use vanilla ice cream for this one. Let's plate. Alright, so that is the video for today. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And if you have any questions, please put them in the comments below. Thank you! See you later!